What the fuck are you looking at? I fucking never said anything on. What the fuck is this? Just keeps getting stranger. So what's happening, everybody? McDogma here. I just can't stand it any longer. It's just too much. We're all gonna die pretty soon. Right off the bat, there's an apology that I want to make. In my last video, Creatheism, there was a very good point made about my interpretation of what atheism meant to an atheist. I falsely represented atheism as being a belief in the theory of evolution as a sort of religious science. Hadn't thought of that while I was making the video, but in any case, good point, and I apologize. On the other hand, I also feel it's important to state that while I was clearly mocking evolution and its history leading up to us, I was also completely mocking creationism. Part of the reason for my doing this is because ultimately my goal is to try to find a common ground between the two. Not necessarily because I believe that there needs to be a common ground found, but more because I think that these two groups of people that have been divided for so long need to find peace with each other. And from what I've learned, peace in part is usually always brought about by dialogue and conversation. Don Exodus has a very good point that he makes about this in his Thoughts on Creationism video, specifically pointing out that sometimes the first thing that you say will open or close a discussion based on a person's point of view. The example he used was if a person walks up to you and says, "God bless George W. Bush," odds are, depending on how you feel about George W. Bush, your opinion will be varied from that point on. And I think that's a completely valid point. So at the end of the day, where I think the point is being missed is that while you've got two sides that are bickering about ends that are never going to meet, all compromise comes with a certain amount of surrender on both sides. So as a compromise for creationists, I think it's really important that you stop forcing beliefs on people through laws, legislation, and special interest groups. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much you want Jesus to love everybody, that love is only accepted when a heart is open. If somebody doesn't want to hear what you have to say, you have to just let them be. I mean, honestly, do you really want all these assholes in heaven with you? Just going to be driving down the value of your cloud front property. And as a compromise for the atheists, and in a lot of senses this includes myself, all the science in the world is nothing more than prying the secrets out of Mother Nature, God, or whatever you want to call it. We have to get over the buzzword of God and understanding that God can be a representation of forces that are unexplainable just as easily as God can be a representation for the creator of all man. I think the main commonality is the same as it's always been. We don't know who we are, we don't know where we came from, we don't know why we're here. And to be honest, I think I kind of like it that way. But we do know that while we're here, we can, at some level, attempt to make peace with each other. And one of the main items that's always involved in peace is the concept of compromise. I think Gandhi said it best. It is not enough to merely tolerate your enemies, you must at some level have an appreciation for their position. That's all I have to say about that. So in the meantime, I have a couple etiquette issues that I want to get out of the way. I'm noticing some trends in the YouTube community and its idealism. See, after I made my last video, Creatheism, I started to notice something very interesting. Apparently the almighty atheist can be just as big of a bitch as a creationist. I'm so fucking smart because I don't believe in God. I thought it funny that apparently some of the hardened members of the atheist community have a very hard time with my message of commonality between creationism and atheism. You didn't describe it the way that it's supposed to be described. I mean, you totally left out all the key points, see, so you're just a fucking dumbass. Obviously, the atheist is never guilty of that when he's discussing creationism. So for the record, I'm not a creationist. Do I believe in God? I'm leaving that one open-ended, the same way you leave it open-ended as to the origin of the Big Bang. I'm not down with organized religion in any shape or fashion, but I'm also not down with organized dissension. Could I have been more precise? Could I have been more historically accurate? Yeah, I was more focused on the end message and on humor than on filming a precise description of creationism and atheism. Some people call that shit satire. So chill the fuck out. I mean, laugh a little, it's all in good fun. I mean, honestly, I don't think we're going to be solving the world's problems here on YouTube. In all of my videos, the core message has and will continue to be peace, just like how Pat Condell says it. And if you find yourself having a problem with that, then I probably have a problem with you. But I know that's not going to stop you from leaving some retarded shitty comment on my channel. And that brings us to our current topic on commenting. Commenting etiquette on YouTube. In my observation of commenting both on my channel and on other people's channels, there are 3 types of personalities when it comes to the malicious commenter. While I'm not going to use the actual comment that I read, I'm going to generalize in a way that will make the main picture clear. So let's start with our first offender, the fucker. This seems to be the most common type of malicious commenter that I've found on YouTube. The fucker is the type of commenter that feels the need to make a negatively spun criticism, but will give no reason as to why they disagree with you. That was stupid, dumb, gay, weak, retarded, and the like. Not a whole lot of suggestion I can give to comments like that, other than, don't be a fucker. Now the second type of malicious commenter is the bitch. 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 Biatch. Now a bitch is special because a bitch is a type of person whom, like the fucker, has to make a negatively skewed comment. However, the bitch will always make a comment in such a way as to implicate themselves as having the real answer. You're such a dumbass. You don't even know what you're talking about. That's not even close. I am a devout da-da-da-da, and I know better than you that that's not the truth. Why don't you stop spewing your bullshit? Why you gotta be a bitch? Don't be a bitch, unless you want to be my bitch. Lastly, and definitely leastly, the asshole. Asshole! The asshole is just a revenge-driven person whose inner child has been deeply wounded. They have no real criticism, they just choose to make personal attacks because you threaten their stability of ideal. You're fucking fat, fucking ugly. What are you, like 50? Get a life. Lazy piece of shit, scumbag. Golly, sorry, that sounds just like an asshole. Don't be an asshole. Damn, dude, why don't you tell us how you really feel? Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Appreciate your viewership. Thanks to all my subscribers. I'm creeping towards 100. Anyway, take it easy. Watch out for my next video. It's going to be a good one. Peace.